Now I know myself better than anybody, and I know that I can't make up my mind about a lot of stuff. I'll let you sit with that for a minute. And I take great pride in the little quirks that I have, that I know I have, and I try and work with them rather than against them so that I can be satisfied with my choices at the end of the day. For instance, I constantly find myself hating the way that my studio space here is arranged and set up, even though one day I love it and then the next day I don't. And so to help solve that problem, I bought a desk that is on wheels so that I can constantly change the position of my desk and my view of the room really easily. My computer's hooked up to a extension cord, and so I have complete freedom and mobility to move my desk wherever I want. Now that's a pretty simple problem to solve, the whole desk thing. But I want to talk about another kind of problem that's a lot more broad, kind of quick today, and that's how to find your style as a creator. Now, whether you know it or not, I'd hedge my bets that you are in some way a fan of a creator on YouTube, on Instagram, what have you, and you became a fan of this person because of the way that they express their art or their lifestyle or something that you guys share in common, and the way that they present it means something with you. It resonates with you. It's something that grabs your attention and you consistently see it on your feed enough to where you start to really like it. You can recognize and identify this person's style, and thus you become a follower. Now I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I have a consistent style yet. I just like too many things. I'm constantly being bombarded by social media to figure it out, because it's said that as a creator you need to have a consistent style for your audience to actually understand who you are and what you're about, and to be able to make that connection with you. I just am not there yet. I'm the type of person who likes to try a whole bunch of things and to see what sticks. I am constantly almost reinventing myself in the way that I do my work. And the issue with that is when I start doing one of these new things consistently, thinking it's going to be my next style, I either lose interest way too fast, I get way too bored too quick, I start to hate it after a while, hence the constant studio renovations. Or to be quite honest, I just do all these things because I either think they're trendy or I think something's just going to magically stick, when in reality, none of it is actually who I am as a person, what I'm about, what I have going on up in here. But with all that said, I'm not trying to get too deep, but I think I found the answer to everything and how to find your style as a creator yourself. And it all starts with, I'm going to paint this wall black. And the wall is now black. Now I think this looks way better than the white wall did, but we're still not done with it. So before I jump into how to find your creative style, really quick, there's one more thing I want to do with this wall. Now this is more my style. So the first step that you should take to find your own style, whether you're a photographer or if you're trying to share anything that you're doing in your life, is to be brutally honest with who you want to be known as. And it all starts with a little self-evaluation. When somebody visits your page, let's say on Instagram, are they able to easily and quickly identify who exactly you want to be known as? And I say to be brutally honest with yourself because assuming you've already made posts in the past and there's already a plethora of people who already have a pretty good understanding of who you are, it might not exactly be who you are today. But you really can't let your years before you and the people that you've already met define who you want to be known as today. If you've changed over time, and it's okay to change, change is good. I've learned you can't hold back who you've become, especially when you're trying to build a brand. Looking at my own Instagram, I've made a ton of different stuff, but now I'm to a point where I kind of understand and can acknowledge the type of creator I want to be known as, and I can continue to build my brand towards that direction. And although I love to shoot all kinds of photography, from cars to people to landscapes. But if you're trying to be known as something in particular, like let's say a fashion photographer, and you have to be truly honest that that is the type of person you want to be known as, then you probably shouldn't post those awesome sunrise photos that you took the other day. And although that might seem really obvious, it's actually a lot harder said than done. And I hope that the other creators out there can attest to this, because I experience it all the time. When you love to shoot and create so many different things, you want everybody to see everything that you're doing all the time, but that's not exactly the smartest strategy when trying to build a brand. All in all, what I'm getting to here is that when you're first building your brand and finding your style, you need to identify and remain true to who you want to be recognized as, because you can then create content that resonates with that identity and that style. And don't get me wrong, it'll take some trial and error. You're going to have to try new things to really see what works best for your style and your brand, but it's a lot easier to do that than to just throw all your ideas and all your capable talents at the wall and to see what sticks and hopefully find your niche audience. If you want to grow an audience, you have to have a clear and distinct style. And as you're identifying your goals, that leads me to my second point, which is to be proud that nobody cares. We can easily get sucked into the mindset that whatever we do, whatever we share, whatever we post, people are gonna see and people are going to judge us. Sonder is the feeling one has on realizing that every other individual one sees has a life as full and real as one's own. Everybody is living their own life, doing their own thing. And when they come across your profile and your content, they're going to see it, they're going to quickly digest it, they're gonna probably have a couple opinions about it, they're gonna decide whether they like it or not, and then they're gonna keep scrolling and move on and totally forget about it until they see your profile again. So the key here is, even if you're still discovering the style and the brand identity and the type of creator you want to be, like myself, don't let the fear of others' opinions waver the type of creator you want to be at the end of the day. Because I promise nobody cares as much as you do about you. So we have an idea of the type of creator we want to be, and we're not going to let other people's opinions affect who we want to be, which brings me to my last and final step, which is digging deeper into the little things will give your audience something to relate to. I can't stress how important this is, even though it sounds super vague, so let me break it down by sharing a little bit about myself. I'm a born and raised Midwestern kid. I love country music with a little bit of fiddle in it. I like to wear cowboy boots around, and I like the look and feel of wood on a wall. It's an aesthetic, it's a culture, and it's a part of me that will never ever change. And there's tons of people like me on the internet who share the same kind of country style. So why don't I let that be my guide for all the content that I make? After digging deeper, I've realized there's other sides of me that explain even more of who I really am and who I want to be known as than just a country kid who takes a lot of pictures. I've always been fascinated by other cultures around the world. I actually spent a lot of time in college learning about Japan and the Japanese culture, their morals, their way of life, way of living. It's actually what my tattoo is inspired by. And it doesn't stop there. And when I've taken a step back and looked deeper into these passions of mine, they are the perfect guides to help define my creative style, and maybe yours too. What are the things that you're really into? And it can be anything. And how can you incorporate that stuff into the content that you make? Even if it's the littlest things, like changing your background to fit your vibe, to fit your aesthetic, that matters. If whatever you add to your content shares a little bit more about you, I guarantee there's plenty of people out there that it will resonate with. And it brings some personality to your content. Everybody wants to be TikTok famous, and they're all doing the exact same formula to get there. And it works for a lot of people out there, I know. And I'm not famous, so who am I to talk? But in my eyes, the most successful creators are the ones that I have a true appreciation for, and I look forward to seeing their content every day. There's still something about being genuine and honest about who you are that really resonates with people, and that's how you're going to grow an audience. Creating a bond with your viewership that makes them feel like they've known you their whole life is huge. So don't get lazy. That's what I'm getting to. And all these ideas go a lot deeper than really what I'm getting into today. I'm trying to keep it as concise as possible. Be brutally honest with yourself and how you want to be perceived. Be proud because nobody cares. And I'm telling you to dig a little bit deeper because there's a lot more to you, I guarantee, than people realize, and that is what they want to see. I hope you guys found this video in any way useful of your time. I would honestly love to hear what your guys' weird interests and combinations are in the comments. presets and how you apply those to your own content or daily life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to prove that you actually like this kind of content on YouTube these days, if you could consider hitting that like button and consider hitting the subscribe button to keep up with all the content that I'm looking to make on this channel. But until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.